everybody, this is Sean and OUTTAKE ESL. What I want to go through today is a presentation I do here on Halloween. And first I want to state this is explicitly for adults. I do it for adults and university students. There's some material in here that I would consider really inappropriate for younger children. It deals a lot with kind of the zombies and things like that. But it's a lot of fun, and I hope you can use it for ideas in your classroom or even parties. Initially, this kind of started out as a party presentation. I eventually sort of added a few more materials to make it more maybe an English corner and discussion based. Well, let's get started and take a look at Halloween.
Leave now while you still can.
Okay, so originally I did this as a party, and when I did it as a party, I kind of try and create a like a haunted house, you know, turn all the lights off, just a few lights in the classroom. And I think the best version of it I ever did was as like a haunted butcher shop, where I kind of did. When I got some some pig. Went down to the open markets there, and you can get sort of meat scraps. So I went in there and got a bucket full of pig scraps. It's always funny because one time the guy gave me the pig's anus. Yeah, and I'm like, I always thought it was kind of funny. So I took that and I got a bucket of it, and I set up this whole, dressed all up as this kind of crazy butcher, and I kind of tied it into, we played some games where it was like, you know, I was throwing all the meat into a bucket, and then I wanted the kids to put their hands in there, but I kind of switched the bucket and put candy in there, and just kind of see who you could get to put their hand in. But anyway, let's move on here. So every English corner you want to start out, I think it's a good idea to start out with a discussion. So I start out and ask a few questions. Here I didn't ask them really to answer them. Here I didn't do like a group sort of exercise where they talk over the questions. I just kind of solicited answers because I had a handout. Where is it celebrated? What do people do on Halloween? And why is it celebrated? So here I'm just kind of, you know, searching for ideas, seeing if anybody, what people know in the classroom, and then I give them a handout with a reading answers to all these questions. And after they kind of go through the reading, now this is much too, you know, of course the text here is much too small to read. I just kind of put there for a reference for myself. And I asked the students to tell me what the answers were to the questions are based on their reading, in 5 minutes or so. And that answers the 4 questions. And then we kind of get started with our first activity. And I thought it was kind of a good idea to learn how to carve a jack-o'-lantern. So on the back side of this handout is a list of instructions. A list of instructions. Once again, this text is much too small for a classroom, for even a presentation. So I have this on the back side of the reading handout, and I also give them a pumpkin and a knife, and we go through, you know, the whole idea is to teach, is to kind of go through the lessons of, you know, carving a pumpkin that they can take home with them. And you can get, I'm in China, and you can get pumpkins here, you can get gourds or something equivalent, of course. If you don't, then of course you can maybe just do this as a kind of information kind of exercise. I believe this is from the ESL library also, and you just kind of read through it and you say, okay, what comes first? Buy a pumpkin, release one good side. What comes next? Get a pen and pencil, sharp knife. Newspapers on the table. We just kind of go through the instructions, and we carve the pumpkin together. And then we move on. This exercise here, it's a guessing game that I came up with. So basically, you have two plots here in the graveyard, and I give them 4 clues, and they have to guess what is buried in the plot next to it. So guess what lies in the neighboring plot. Your lies. And here I try to use, words that we're going to require them to look them up. So if they have their phones, or they have their phones, or they have a dictionary or something like that, or maybe they even know some of these words. I chose to use those words: will-o-the-wisp, candlelight, carve, and pumpkin. So here I kind of wanted to see what they remember from the reading and the carving exercise. And of course it's a... Next one, yeah, brains, reanimated, corpse, and undead. And if anybody gets them, usually I would have something like candy as an award prize. It's all adults, university students, or whatever. I don't mind getting candy, treats, broom. I don't. Neither do I. Cauldron, cackle, and black dress. Part of the fun of Halloween, of course, is also for adults. Blood, garlic, crucifix, fangs. Once again, these are all words that I really wouldn't expect your average ESL learner to know. Hollywood aficionados, or horror film aficionados, like that. But here I encourage them once again to use their phones or try and look the words up as quickly as possible. Like and throw. So no one's gonna. Like and throw is like nobody. You'll rarely find English speakers in that. Full moon how. Scared. This one's kind of a tough one. Farms. Though I have seen scarecrows here in China. I have seen various scarecrows here also. You could say the clay soldiers are some of the first examples of scarecrows. Brimstone. Let's see here. Got a bit of a freeze here. Bear with me. Evil. Looks nice. Looks like we're freezing. Hell. I'm in some trouble here with this slides for some reason. Satan. Cursed. Yeah, devil. Alright. Move on to the next slide. And then I move into this section of the presentation, a product called Terrortown. This is actually, I did a big kind of carnival amusement park presentation. It was actually called Wild Billy's Circus Story, after Bruce Springsteen's song. And he had different areas of the park that you could access. I had like an access park of land, like Disney World basically. I did like a land over here, a land over here, and a main map. And the students could choose what land they wanted to go. And it was kind of the amusement park idea was it was pretty elaborate lesson. It was meant to expand, a month in its entirety. Where the students could choose to go to a different land, and there'd be all kinds of exercises there, and it was quite an elaborate undertaking. But this is the Tarot aspect to it, so I kind of brought it over here from Howling presentation. Once again, this is all stuff I'm doing on Photoshop. I took a GIF here and added it on, but all the blood-stained papers, something I made through Filter Forge, all the fonts, the brick walls, all stuff, all very time-consuming to put together, and so you know, it's kind of good to have things that you can kind of bring in from different areas. Yeah, you really, you know, you need. Oh, there's the bloody handprint, also something I had to make. And so we go into Terror Town, and I kind of give them an idea of zombies. The town is full of zombies. Kind of trying to see what they know about zombies. And most are familiar. We go to the Terror Town Cinema, if they don't know, to take a look at what zombies are. And here I kind of show I chose to show a Kristen George film, Night of the Living Dead. You know, probably the most famous zombie film there is. Started the whole craze. Also, kind of interesting. It was, you know, this is one nightmare that I remember very vividly as a child. I always had nightmares about the Living Dead, and that's even like before I saw these films. And it's always funny, I got this film for Christmas one year in my stocking. So I counted it among my favorites. It was always very cheap too. It was always like you could buy it for $5 or something.
You used to really be.
So here I show them a clip from, you know, probably the most famous clip from Night of the Living Dead.
You're still afraid.
Stop it now, I mean it.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny.
And even here, by today's standards, this is kind of considered kind of, you know, laughable in terms of its, you know, graphic. This was considered pretty graphic, you know, back in the time it was released. But I kind of also wanted to instill this idea of filmmaking. You know, I grew up in a time when you know, the idea of independent filmmaking was very sort of popular. And you know, this was really sort of at the forefront of that spirit. It's just, hey, I don't have a big crew, I don't have a lot of money, I'm just going to go out and try and make a film, you know, to be a film director. You know, that's what I want to do, to make a living off this. You know, so I kind of wanted to express the idea that you know, that's still, it's an accessible idea, certainly in today's day and age with the computer technology. You know, has created a different dynamic. So then in Terror Town, we head over to the Terror Town Diner, or the Terror Town Cafe here, and we do a little zombie taste test. So we head into the diner, and we take a look at the menu. And on the menu we have some items here, and the whole idea is that they have to unscramble it. Once again, give out awards, candy. If they can figure it out, so you get S, B, N, R, A, and I and A. That's brains. GERINFS. Fingers. BAERLELS. I might give them a hint like eyeballs. And HSLFE. Flesh. Once again, difficult words, because I don't want to have to give out on my candy. And we head over to the Terror Town police station, see what's going on there. Once again, I did all this with the gates and the cell and the blood stain and for Photoshop. Show them another clip from a movie, which I can't seem to remember what movie this was. The Undead, the Evil Dead. It's not the Evil Dead. I think is it the Evil Dead? I think it might be the Evil Dead. I chose this just because it's the jump scare idea.
Did we not request a transfer for him this morning?
And why I show this is because it's kind of a precursor to the next activity. This is a game that I used in my Halloween party. I thought it was kind of fun. Something I called Zombie Patrol, Dead Are Rising. It's a very simple idea. It does require some sort of physicality to it though, and something you have to be concerned about. So what you have, stay alert, the dead are rising everywhere. Don't let them make it all the way to their feet or your brains will be breakfast. Maybe I should change that font. It's kind of hard to read. Maybe I'll do that later on, somewhere down the line. But so in this game, you need to kind of clear space, you need an open space, and you're going to have one sheriff. So usually I have a toy gun or a toy badge or something like that, or a sheriff's hat or something like that. And they're in the middle, and you have maybe 8 other students or 8 other people lying on the ground on their backs. And the whole idea, they have to be kind of a little bit away from the sheriff. The whole idea is that they're going to try to rise their face and grab. They're going to rise to their feet and grab the sheriff, right? So what the sheriff has to do is has to catch them before they get all the way to their feet. So he's got this gun, and here what I would do is something like, okay, you need to say a word with A, or you need to say a word with B in order to stop them. So once the zombies start rising, you have to turn and find them. Boy, bread, you know, they all can kind of try and get up at the same time. So he has to stay alert until he just runs out of words or runs out of ammo and is overwhelmed by the zombies. Usually they never can win. There's nobody, it doesn't go on forever. And then maybe you can just kind of switch out different players. But the whole idea is to get them to just kind of using the brand new vocabulary to stop these zombies from getting all the way to their feet. If they get their hands on it, the game is over. And that's the game. Some other ideas for games were things like, you know, I used ping pong balls and made them eyes, and you kind of had to roll the eyeballs, things like that. I did a balloon game that was like the balloon was the head of Alfredo Garcia. The game was called Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, but I can't remember how it was actually played. But anyway, that's the end of this presentation. It was a lot of fun, some fun things you can do in there. And we exit Terrortown. I'll come back soon. And that's all for today. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate your viewership. If there's any comments you'd like to make, please do so and make it so in the comment section below. And I'll take a look at them and get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'd really appreciate it if you click like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content here, if you find it useful. I definitely would like to know. And one way of doing that would be to click like and subscribe. And that's about all for today. So this is OUTTAKE ESL, and we will talk to you later.